It's so sad. So sad. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. Oh yeah, stop the music. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. And one of our top tier candidates is gone. Not gone like forever, because I'm sure we'll be seeing plenty of her, but she will no longer be in the race for the 2020 presidential primaries or elections. Yes, it's a sad day. Kamala Harris is out. Yesterday, Kamala Harris wrote a letter to her supporters and constituents. "11 months ago, at the launch of our campaign in Oakland, I told you all, I am not perfect, but I will always speak with decency and moral clarity and treat all people with dignity and respect. I will lead with integrity. I will speak the truth." And that's what I've tried to do in every day of this campaign. So here's the truth today. I have taken stock and looked at this from every angle, and over the last few days have come to one of the hardest decisions of my life. My campaign for president simply doesn't have the financial resources we need to continue. I am not a billionaire. I can't fund my own campaign, and as the campaign has gone on, it's become harder and harder to raise the money we need to compete. In good faith, I can't tell you, my supporters and volunteers, that I have a path forward if I don't believe I do. So, to you, my supporters, it's with deepest regret, but also with deep gratitude that I am suspending my campaign today. But I want to be clear with you. I am still very much in this fight. And I will keep fighting every day for what this campaign has been about: justice for the people. All the people. Our campaign has been about fighting for people whose voices have not been heard or too often ignored. We will keep up that fight. Let's remember, we were the first to put the injustice of inadequate teacher pay on the national agenda, because nobody's ever talked about that before. But I digress. We will keep up that fight. We were the first to demand justice for our children, declaring we would take bold executive action to stop gun violence. We will keep up that fight. We were the first to demand justice for women with a plan to block unconstitutional state abortion laws. We will keep up that fight. And our campaign uniquely spoke to the experience of black women and people of color. What? And our campaign. Oh wait, what did she say there? And our campaign uniquely spoke to the experience of black women and people of color, and their importance to the success and future of this party. Our campaign demanded no one should be taken for granted by any political party. We will keep up that fight because no one should be made to fight alone. And I believe our campaign showed every child in America, regardless of their color or gender, that there are no limits to who can lead and hold positions of power in our country. In that way, this campaign has been so much bigger than me. I am extremely grateful to the hundreds of staff who moved and uprooted their lives and sacrificed time away from their families. I know our fight has been personal from each of them. Of course, I could not have done this without my husband Doug and my entire family and friends who gave up so much to embark on this journey with me and have supported me every step of the way. I am grateful to the thousands of volunteers and contributors who chipped in, who knocked on doors, who made calls, and who put faith and trust in me. It has been the honor of my life to be your candidate. And I want to be clear, although I am no longer running for president, I will do everything in my power to defeat Donald Trump and fight for the future of our country and the best of who we are. I know you will too. Let us do that together. Let's keep fighting for America, the America we believe in, an America free of injustice, an America that we know we can be unburdened by what has been. Thank you, Kamala. Well, okay. Now, as far as bowing out of a campaign, I don't think that was too bad. I really don't. That was probably a good written letter to her supporters, and she was out of money, and she wasn't gaining any traction, and she, it's funny, when she first got into the race, I think the media jumped all over it. The media, she is the first, what I would call top tier candidate to leave the race. And I think she had a bit of an identity crisis, because I think the media came in full swing on her support. But I think the media was hoping that she would come off as like the next Obama, right? But the female version, which would be, an extra intersectionality points, being female, black, so to speak. But Black Americans aren't so convinced that she's, because she's not ADOS, okay? She's not American descendants of slaves, okay? Her mother's from India, her father's from Jamaica, and so that, believe it or not, was an issue with black folks. Now, I am not. Now, let me remind you, I am not the spokesman for black people. I am not a good spokesman for black people. In fact, I don't think anybody's a good spokesman for all black people. Just let's get that straight, okay? Black people are very diverse in their thoughts and deeds, even though there's even though as a demographic, we'd vote Democrat, but you'd be surprised how many different things we disagree on in different parts of this this whole sphere that's called black people. But anyway, so anyway, Kamala Harris, I think she had a bit of an identity crisis because at the beginning she was that next Obama, right? She was that person that the news media loved and was hoping that she'd be that new it person, right? And then, but unfortunately, she really couldn't gain any traction on Bernie, obviously. Joe Biden kind of sucked up all the air a little bit when he got in because he's Obama's vice president. And a lot of people that's all they know about Joe Biden. He was the vice president under Obama, so he must be okay, right? And then Elizabeth Warren, is in the race and she takes up a lot of air. And so then all of a sudden Kamala, who at first, I remember early in the race, some people were asking her, it was a reporter asked her something about reparations. And so that's obviously an issue with a large section of the ADOS community. And she kind of hemmed and hawed and didn't want to make this about, she didn't want to, strictly come out for a certain demographic, right? And so that was kind of assigned to some people who are really into that idea, saying, oh, well, she's not with us. And then people started to remember, oh, yeah, she was a prosecutor in California and she did some crazy things. And Tulsi Gabbard helped remind everyone of that in the debate, right? And that took her down a notch. And so at first, when she didn't want to have to be part of a demographic, she just wanted to be a president for all, like Obama, it was able to successfully, bring in a large different coalition of different people, right? Well, Kamala started failing at that to start off. And so then all of a sudden you see Kamala doing silly things. And I'm going to try to see if I can find this one, because this one in particular had me laughing so hard when it happened. And, so I'm going to see if I can find it here. I think, who put this up? I think Hotep Jesus, or maybe it's Uncle Hotep who had this up. It just had me laughing my ass off where Kamala all of a sudden decides, I probably should at least pander to black people, right? And try to look like I'm doing something. Hello, I'll say good morning, everybody, in a minute. Oh, goodness gracious. Where is that? I thought Uncle Hotep had on his. Here it is. Okay, so so then all of a sudden she says, well, oh, wait a minute. My opportunity is to pander to black people, right? Because thinking, if I can get a bunch of them, at least on my side, that is a good start. So she started doing stupid shit, which is not unusual for candidates. But this one in particular was absolute cringe. And let me just show this one to you. Okay. Here we go. This is from Hotep's Been Told You when they were watching it. And that's hilarious. Here we go.
To the lovely people of Wakanda, I know you will make the right choice. And as always, Wakanda forever. Paid for by Kamala Harris.
Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Oh my God! If y'all don't watch Hotep's Been Told You on Thursday nights, Hotep Jesus and Uncle Hotep are just funny as hell. But yeah, she put she put this thing on YouTube, Wakanda Forever, and so she's out there pandering to black people. Then, she came into one of the forums in Iowa with a black college drum line, danced around and stuff. So she's out there, she's trying to pander to black people. Black people weren't having it because they all know about, her stint as attorney general in the state of California. And that was just a notch against her. So a lot of black Democrats are pushing, going for Biden, right? And so here, let me go back, get me back on here. So that's just one of those things that, she's not it. She's not that it girl. Okay, she's not Obama 2.0.
And as always,
Oh, turn that shit off.
Wakanda.
She is not Obama 2.0. Yes, she does. That's the thing. So anyway, all right, real quick, let me say good morning to everybody, because we're going to talk a little bit more about Kamala, but I want to say good morning to the crew. I am so happy you all are here. Now, Tyler, I don't know if you're still here or not. You were first. I'm going to give you the bell. Tyler F. was first. Good morning, Jason Burns, Rolling Bear, RVA, Jaeger Pony, Dr. No. Hey, how you doing, brother? Cynical Lindsay, Chicago Mike, Necro Saw, Collins, a.k.a. Necro. And Necro thinks that P-Dog Knight for president. Oh, hell no. I got way too many skeletons in my closet. Come on now. The gayest person on YouTube is here. Good morning, Grisella. I haven't seen you for a while. Good. Welcome back. And Straight Sith Male. That's a good start. And you know what? While you're here, if you like what we do, make sure you hit that like button sometime during the broadcast. Also, share the share arrows down there. Click that share arrow, or you can just retweet my tweet from this morning. Did I put that on the? I didn't put it out over here. Let me put my treat. Let me put my treat. My treat. It's a treat to tweet in the chat. Say that 5 times quickly. Okay. Here's my, there's the tweet. If you just want to retweet that, that'll make it easy. Or hit the share arrow and share it on other places. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Tinder. What the hell? Tumblr. Reddit. You can even send it to LinkedIn. It takes 3 clicks. Click the arrow, click where you want to send it, and then click send. And that'll get you going. Also, if you want to do super chats, the Streamlabs link is in the description down below. It'll show up in the chat every once in a while also. For those of you who just need something to click, because I don't have super chats, but we do a lot for you. Now, I think, oh, by the way, I think I figured out the problem that I was having with all the buffering. We'll see if I get through this stream smoothly without any problems. I redid the settings. I did a little tutorial on YouTube on how to set my Streamlabs settings so that I won't have those kinds of issues. We'll see if we can get through the show without it freezing up on you. So I hope that works. And that's that. And so you can probably set this however high of a resolution you want now, because I think I got it figured out. That's awesome. All right, now let's get back into the lovely Kamala Harris, who, I was never a fan of Kamala in the first place. But now some of the other Democratic candidates have put in their 2 cents about Kamala leaving the race. And there's a whole, believe it or not, there was a little bit of controversy about her leaving the race too. So we'll get into that in a minute. But first of all, let's see what some of the other candidates. Now this is from Breitbart, but this is straight reporting from Hannah Blue, no editorializing, just what the other candidates were saying about Kamala Harris and their farewell goodbyes and things like that. So here's the article. Senator Kamala Harris. Good morning, Pincalo. By the way, thank you, Pincalo. I used that little thing you sent me, that from the little bedtime story you sent me, which I just read on the screen. You kind of missed it, but thank you for sending that to me. I appreciate it. Kamala's letter to her, to her supporters, whatever. All right, so anyway, here we go. Senator Kamala Harris on Tuesday announced the suspension of her presidential campaign, spurring reactions from her former competitors, including Representative Tulsi Gabbard. Harris dropped out of the race on Tuesday, a move followed by abysmal poll numbers and mounting reports of internal turmoil within her campaign. Harris wrote, "To my supporters, it is with deep regret, but also with deep gratitude that I am suspending my campaign today. But I want to be clear with you. I will keep fighting every day for what this campaign has been about. Justice for the people, all the people." So here, then there's the tweet that she sent out, and then I read the letter that Pincalo sent me. Thank you again, Pincalo. Her departure inspired numerous 2020 candidates to send her kind words. Senator Bernie Sanders, Vermont, for example, thanked the California lawmaker for running a spirited and issue-oriented campaign. Here it is. Thank you, Kamala Harris, for running a spirited or issue-oriented campaign. And pandering to black people every chance you got. I can look forward to working with you to defeat the most dangerous president in history and ending the hatred and divisiveness that he has created. We talked about this the other day. Who is it that seems to have more hatred and divisiveness in this country right now? Do you think it's the people who support Trump or the people who are against Trump? If you think it's the people who support Trump, put a 1 in the chat. If you think it's the people who are against Trump, put a 2 in the two in the chat. Chat. Hatred and divisiveness. Who has more? Trump supporters or anti-Trump people? 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 is the supporter Trump people. 2 is the anti-Trump people. Just testing this theory in my ever wise and faithful chat. All right. Okay, moving on. Elizabeth Warren says, "Thank you, Kamala Harris, for your commitment to fighting for people, for justice, and holding Donald Trump accountable. Kamala is right. Our system is deeply broken when billionaires can buy their way in. I'll fight with you to make sure our government works for all of us." Yes, Elizabeth Warren has a plan for that. C-SPAN got Joe Biden to react, and here's Joe Biden.
Mr. Vice President, there's a report that Kamala Harris is dropping out. Do you have a reaction?
Oh, that's really quiet. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that, but look how long it takes for him to even react. I think he's lost. Look, here we go again.
Mr. Vice President, there's a report that Kamala Harris is dropping out. Do you have a reaction?
Kamala Harris is reportedly dropping out. Harris is dropping out of the race. Harris is dropping out. What's your reaction?
Can you walk a little bit closer?
What's your reaction, sir? My reaction is she is a first-rate.
Mike, he says, my reaction is she's a first-rate intellect, a first-rate candidate, a real competitor.
A real competitor. I have mixed emotions about it.
He has mixed emotions about it.
Really a solid.
She's really a solid person, loaded with talent. Okay, everyone's kissing their ass now. Gabbert, who has had a fiery back and forth with the senator over the course of their campaign, also sent Harris her best wishes. Sending my best wishes to Kamala Harris, her family, and supporters who have campaigned so hard. While we disagree on some issues, we agree on others, and I respect her sincere desire to serve the American people. I look forward to working together on the challenges we face as a nation. And bitch slap her into next week. Never mind, no, she didn't say that. Okay. And then Julian Castro. Now, Julian Castro's comment caused a bit of a stir. Julian Castro commends the campaign Kamala Harris ran and says the media's coverage of her campaign has been something else. Says she was held to a double standard and it was grossly unfair and unfortunate. Now, I am trying to think of what the hell Julian Castro is talking about, but here's his words out of his own mouth.
Hey, I really want to commend Senator Harris for the race that she's run. She's one of the most qualified people running, and throughout this campaign...
Whoa. She's one of the most qualified people running. Why were you running against her then? Shouldn't you just have been supporting her in the first place? But I will let him finish.
She's run her campaign with class and with dignity. She's articulated a vision and fought for people of all different backgrounds and people who need a champion. I think about Senator Harris as a child of immigrants, as somebody who has been fighting for an America where everybody counts. I'm a big fan of the work that she's done in the Senate and also her fight for farm workers during this campaign. I will say that the way that the media have treated Senator Harris in this campaign has been something else. In the last few days, to see articles out of Politico, the New York Times, Washington Post, that have basically trashed her campaign and focused on just one small part of it.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, let's just stop this crap right here. The idea that they have been anything but fawning for her over the last 6 months. Now, they've reported things that have happened, And what's been going on in the last few days with her campaign? Well, she moved her campaign out of New Hampshire to basically told everyone there to sit tight and was going to focus completely on Iowa. She's made some missteps. Tulsi Gabbard took her down in a debate. She's said some dumb shit things. What are they supposed to do? Not talk about it? But he has some more here.
And I think held her to a different standard.
What different standard, Representative Castro? Or is this which one's the representative? He's the representative and the other one's the mayor. I don't know. Whichever Castro you are. Good morning, Six. Good morning, Good morning, Six. Good morning, Functional. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors. And good morning, MC. Hammer time.
Standard has been grossly unfair and unfortunate.
Grossly
I'm glad
unfair.
She's going to keep fighting.
Grossly unfair. What has been unfair?
I believe that she and I share a very common vision for the future of our country.
Oh.
She's going to be fighting.
So are you hoping to pick up her? Oh, I get it. I just figured it out. He is just hoping to pick up some of her support because he's down in the bottom tier too. So, and then he has a little tweet here. I'm so thankful for Kamala Harris's friendship and candidacy in this race. As a child of immigrants, she's been a lifelong fighter for opportunity and justice for all Americans, except those guys that she kept in prison just a little longer in California so that they'd have a little more prison labor to do some, guarding work for whoever they were doing that shit for. Anyway, and I'm glad she'll keep fighting for an America where everyone counts. Like 1, 2, 3. Anyway. And then Pete Buttigieg says, Kamala Harris has spent her career advocating for the voiceless and the vulnerable. Yeah, like the ones who were going to be late to school and she was going to try to put their parents in jail. Yeah, remember that? I'm sorry. And I am grateful for her leadership and the courage she brings to the Senate and to the national debate. I know she will continue to fight fearlessly on behalf of the American people and our democracy. And then Andrew Yang was stunned, apparently. I don't know if you saw they all got something to say. Okay, Andrew Yang says, I am stunned that Kamala Harris is suspending her campaign. She's one of my favorite people to share time with on the trail. So warm, smart, fiery, and a true public servant. She offered my family help and guidance when she didn't need to. Kamala, I will see you soon. Now you know what? Here's the thing. I am just fine. That's a nice sentiment. Kamala Harris, I'm not saying Kamala Harris is a bad person. Please don't ever even let me, I don't want you to ever think that I think that. I just think she's a bad politician. And she has some issues that there's people in the ADOS community that just don't sit well with them. And so it's funny when if you go on Twitter and listen to different people talk about her, half the people who are slamming her are black people. All right. Michael Bloomberg chips in. Senator Kamala Harris brought important ideas and perspective to the race, and we will especially need her leadership and commitment to justice in the Senate as Congress weighs impeachment. Okay. And finally, oh my God, there's more? Holy shit. Some of these people are gone already. Why are we even talking about Cory Booker? Cory Booker is on his last shoestring too. Dear friend Kamala Harris is a trailblazer. I love serving with her in the Senate, and every moment we've run into one another on the trail, her campaign broke barriers and did it with joy. Love you, sister. I think he meant sister. But I'm not the black kind of sister. If you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, and then Amy Klobuchar, who nobody knows outside of Minnesota, but although her stock has risen a little bit. People are starting to know who she is. People in Minnesota know who she is, and oh my God. Although there are people who vote for her here, obviously she's a senator, but God, dog, never mind. I'm not going to say it because she ain't going to be in the race much longer either. Kamala is a good friend and an incredibly strong public servant. Sometimes campaigns can tear friendships apart, but we have grown closer. Her good work will continue. Okay, great. And then John Delaney, I'm not even going to read it because no one knows who the John Delaney is. Beto O'Rourke chipped in, and the news also drew reactions from former candidates. Oh, Beto O'Rourke. I couldn't wait to hear what Beto O'Rourke had to say, so here you go. Grateful to Kamala for her service, her candidacy, and for all great things she's going to do in the future. Amy and I got to know Kamala and Doug on the campaign trail, impressed by their kindness to us and their great sense of humor in the midst of credible pressure, blah, 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 blah. And Kirsten Gillibrand, nobody gives a rat's patoot what Kirsten Gillibrand thinks. All right, now here's the problem, though. There's a problem. There is absolutely a problem. And we're going to get into the hashtag. We're going to get into the other stuff. Just another shield reminder. You got to share and like and super chats in the Streamlabs and all that stuff. Okay. So, throw something in the tip Santa sock there. And you'll get to see your Santa tip stuff go into the Santa sock. All right. But there is a problem there. And okay, now, y'all are probably wondering. Now, I haven't really spent a whole lot of time on the candidates that have been dropping out of the race, right? And that's because none of the candidates who have dropped out of the race so far until now, pretty much nobody knew about them except for Beto O'Rourke, who, Jesus. But, good point, Tim. Hello, Tim Higgins. Between Beto and Harris, my Twitter has been cut in half. Yeah, pretty much. Those two, they do a lot of stuff. But there's a problem. There's a problem now that Kamala has gotten out of the race, and some lefty pundits are not happy. All right, and let me just tell you why. And we'll go to the Daily Caller to give you a little information on that. Lefty pundits rage at whiteness of Democrats' 2020 candidates after Kamala drops out. Oh, and the hashtag that came out, what was the hashtag? I even had it here. Oh, primaries so white was the hashtag that was trending yesterday afternoon. The skin color of Democratic presidential frontrunners moved to the forefront of discussion among left of center pundits after Democratic California Senator Kamala Harris dropped out of the race Tuesday. Harris's announcement means the only candidates who have qualified for the next Democratic debate are white, a fact that caused chagrin among media figures and liberal activists. Now, let me just tell you though, right so far, now Andrew Yang I think he's one poll away from qualifying for the next debate, and so is Kamala Harris. So we could have two people of color. Cory Booker, I don't know what the hell happened to Cory Booker. I really don't. Did he drop out? Did Cory ever drop out, or is he just not? He's not polling at all. Anyway, obviously I'm no centrist. Oh, this is. Oh my God. This is Sally Cohn. Sally Cohn, right? Obviously, I'm no centrist, but it's downright effed up that a smart, compelling, very experienced centrist Democratic candidates of color are floundering while a smart but wildly inexperienced centrist white mayor of teeny tiny city is surging. Wow, did she just gay bash a fellow LGBTQ person? Liberal writer Sally Cohn wrote in a tweet, "Bad look, Democrats." Well, let me just remind you that, the Democrats, it's their party, and there are people who vote in their party who are, and answer polls in their party are the ones causing these candidates of color to stay down in the basement. Sorry. Because Democrats have a lot of experience of saying get in the back of the bus. Oh damn! Did I really say that? Oh my God! I can't even believe I said that. Okay. So left-wing commentator Lauren Duke implied that Democrats have a racism problem, as evidenced by Harris's failed campaign. Here's Lauren Duke. Kamala Harris officially entered her campaign today, which means that all of the candidates who currently qualified for the December Democratic debate are white. Sanders, Warren, Biden, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, and Steyer. White supremacy is not just a Fox News problem, folks. Well, let's remind you of something here, Lauren Duca, and I'm sure it's probably in this article somewhere, but you do realize that Senator Harris was polling fourth in her home state of California, or fifth maybe, fourth or fifth in her home state. So people in her own damn state didn't want her as president. And she wasn't polling number one amongst people of color. Okay, what did she say? Because she said white. So I mean, look, Joe Biden has the most support from black people in general, not all black people, but just black people who are voting the Democratic primary, right? Is that white supremacy? Or is that people choosing who they want to represent them? And then let's see. Adam Peck. It's really fucked up that straight white male billionaires, plural, are going to qualify for the next debate while Kamala Harris is leaving the race. Like immensely, wrote Adam Peck, a staffer of the left-wing Center for American Progress. Harris dropping out leaves Democrats with an all-white debate stage for December. Biden, Sanders, Warren, Steyer, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, commented left-wing writer Judd Legum, who complained that the Democratic Party has created a process includes Steyer, but excludes Cory Booker. Well, Cory Booker doesn't have any support. Steyer basically bought his support, but you know what? Cory Booker doesn't have any support. Nobody wants to hear Cory Booker. They didn't create the process hasn't changed. Although, and in fact, if it was, I know the DNC is, the last time, kind of gave Bernie the business, right? I don't think they've given anyone the business so far. And honestly, the DNC would have much rather had Kamala Harris in this position. Okay. But she kept doing dumb shit. Laura Bassett, very fitting that Kamala would drop out, and the myriad of rich white dudes whose names people can't even remember are staying in. Well, the rich white dudes, really? What's that woman's name? What's Elizabeth Warren, rich white dude? Who else is not dropping? Amy Klobuchar? Rich white dude? Now, I don't know how Klobuchar actually had a good debate, and so people started looking at her, right? Kamala hasn't had a good debate. And, Elizabeth Warren, it's funny because the debate moderators, when Tulsi Gabbard pretty much ended Kamala's career in that one debate, right? And so the next debate, notice how careful they were. Whenever Tulsi Gabbard started to even mention Elizabeth Warren's name, that got shut down as quickly as they could do it, right? Oh, hey, Duck Dog, how you doing, Mr. Dax? Hello. I'm sorry, Seamus Derby, what's going on? And welcome y'all. Kamala may not have been my number one candidate, but she belongs in the race, added Imandi Gummy. Well, Kamala dropped out on her own. You know what? Here's the thing, y'all. If you wanted Kamala to stay in the race, y'all need to start throwing some money her way because she ran out of money. She was running out of money. She couldn't continue in other states. Now, granted, Steyer and Bloomberg and, the ones who can, multimillionaires who can do their own damn campaigning or whatever, granted, they had plenty of money to throw around. But you know what? All these other candidates had to raise money. How is Buttigieg still in it? Because Buttigieg is out there raising money. How is Klobuchar able to stay in? Because she's out there raising money. She has money to run her campaign. Same with Warren. Now, Warren obviously has more national support. Same with Bernie. Same with Biden. Biden has a built-in I was Obama's vice president, sheen to him. But hey, Kamala Harris was the media's favorite candidate in the beginning of this race. So if she didn't figure out how to go raise money off of that, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it her campaign was inept when they had, obviously in the beginning, had the media on their side? All she had to do was stay smart, raise money, and stay in the race. And she wasn't able to do it. Now, I don't know why. Okay, again, people started figuring out that black people don't support her as much, okay? And they're like, oh, well, this ain't going to work for us because we absolutely need black votes, okay? We survive on black votes. Republicans don't need black votes. We talked about this the other day. Republicans don't need black voters, but if they get some, look out, Democrats, you have problems, okay? The Republicans don't need black votes. They seem to win without them when, so... And as the economy gets better, and some of those black people go, oh, you know what? I realize that we normally vote Democrat, but why would I want to mess this up? I just gotta raise at my job, or I just got a better job, or whatever, yada yada yada. People in the neighborhood got money in their hands, and everything seems to be doing pretty good. That's hard to run against. That's why the Democrats. The best thing that can happen to Democrats is a recession. All right. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard is Lindsay says Tulsi Gabbard is technically a woman of color. No, she is a woman of color. That stupid term, woman of color, just whatever. She's a minority. Her parents are Indian, like an East Asian Indian. So yeah, but she hasn't made the debate yet. Neither is Yang. I think they both will by the time the debate comes around. Yang, I think, just had another poll that came up that I think may have qualified him. Anyway, so people are up in arms that the too many white people in the Democratic Party left. And you know what's hilarious? This idea has me rolling on the ground laughing. I am laughing my ass off at the fact. So their complaint right now is that the next debate will be all white, right? The Democrats, the Democrats who do everything by intersectionality and by people of color, which is a stupid phrase because a lot of black people don't like that phrase because you know what, they're trying to piggyback off of the black people's civil rights struggle and trying to include that on everybody else by saying people of color. Well, you know what? Different people of color don't all have the same issues, concerns, culture, whatever. So you're just trying to piggyback off of black folks, stuff, right? But what's hilarious about this whole situation as Kamala Harris drops out and all these people are complaining about the debate stage being all white is the fact that the last Republican debate in the 2016 Republican primaries, so to speak. Do you remember who the final four people were on the debate stage after all these people dropped out because Trump was whooping everyone's butt? Do you remember who the last four people who were on the debate stage were? Let me see if you can pick them out in the chat. Let's see what we got. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Nice to have you here. I was on Monkey Stream the other night, maybe it was the Lord's of the Night. So nice to see you joining my stream. I appreciate it. Do you remember who the last four people were in the Republican primaries in 2016 before Trump got the nomination? Anybody? I'm just going to tell you because the chat's lagging a little bit behind. Okay, the last four were Donald Trump, of course. White man. John Kasich, white man. Ted Cruz, Hispanic. And Ben Carson. 50% of the debate stage of the final 50% of the debate stage of the Republican primaries in 2016 were people of color. Yes, because we're allowed to call Ted Cruz a person of color, even though he's, white, Hispanic, Cuban, whatever, but he's Cuban. His father immigrated from Cuba. And the Democrats are in the 2019 or 2020 are lily white. Unless, of course, you call, include Tiger Lily. What's her name? Pocahontas Liawatha. What's her name? Elizabeth Warren. I mean, unless you want to count her as a person of color, but they are white as hell, and it's hilarious. Oh my God, I am just laughing my ass off. All right, so now you know what, I probably shouldn't dwell on this, but there's so much more about this, and that hashtag was just golden. Oh, you need to remind HB. He said, do your anniversary show, but the hearings got in the way. Oh, yeah. No, okay. Thank you. Said he'd do your anniversary show. Yeah, I'll have him on sometime soon. Oh my God. So this hashtag came out, and that's the thing. So I went on this hashtag, primaries so white. I got to look that one up. Here we go. Primaries so white. Oh my God. And this was just some gold. Let's just go through some of these, because people losing their damn minds because Kamala Harris dropped her out. So Michael Malice, who's a Tulsi Gabbard supporter, amazing how so few of those journalists at all complaining that primaries so white are doing anything to promote Andrew Yang or Tulsi Gabbard. The cathedral acts to protect itself and tries its best to ignore those outside its purview. Yeah, I haven't. You know what really is weird? I haven't quite figured this out. Why there's this kind of hatred, kind of just F you to Tulsi Gabbard, because, it's like Tulsi, if you know anything about her, now I've known about her for a while, because she left the DNC to go and support Bernie Sanders. She is a Bernie Sanders as far as philosophy, ideas about, policy. She's pretty much the same as Bernie Sanders. Okay. Now, where she is a bit different, and I don't know why this is pissing people off, but she is a complete anti-war person. Okay. She does not believe in intervention in whatever other theaters, and she got in trouble maybe for meeting with Assad, but I just haven't quite figured out why they hate her so much. And so now they're trying, they're implying that she's, a Russian agent, or part of it, she goes on Fox News, and that's maybe, and there are conservatives who like her, and I don't know if it's because she's an attractive woman, or if they just like a lot of the, like, for example, a lot of the pro-Trump people are against intervention in other people's shit, right? Okay, get out of these stupid regime change wars, and that's what Tulsi Gabbard calls them, regime change wars. Stop that. Let's stop meddling in other people's business, start worrying about ourselves. And so that's something she kind of has in common with some of the Trump voters who are anti-establishment. And so people give a nod and a wink to Tulsi Gabbard, but in the end, she is a progressive, a far left progressive, who do the same Medicare for all and all these things, give people shit for free. And she's a young Hawaiian Indian something Bernie Sanders, and I wouldn't vote for her anyway, but I think she at least will talk to people. And I think that's what people like about, at least people on the right who maybe admire her but would not vote for her. She is willing to go in the den when the den's full of people that are nothing like her. Okay. So it just baffles me why people are so anti-Tulsi Gabbard. And I see it from a lot of the progressive people I follow on Twitter, and, they're just like, nah, she's a Russian agent. She's, I just don't get it. So anyway, Richard Spencer probably has more native blood than Warren. Yeah, you're probably right, Lisa. It would not shock me a bit. I'm sorry. So now apparently this hashtag got primary so white. Wait, what happened here? Oh, see, now it's gotten taken over by people who think it's funny. But anyway, let's see. Andrew Catherine, she's let me explain why Iowa, New Hampshire. So Nate Silver. I've looked at. What are they talking about? Oh, I see. Actually, I've looked at 40 years of data on how primaries work instead of cherry-picking counterexamples. Having two super white states go first is a big disadvantage to non-white candidates, and Obama remains the only non-white candidate ever nominated by a major party. You know what? You know what's funny? Okay, so Nate Silver's talking about this. Am I losing? Okay, so he's replying to this person. Am I losing my fucking mind? Did every pundit just get together and decide this never happened? Because people are bitching about the primary so white, so Nate Silver is trying to justify it. You know, people who in Iowa don't necessarily win the nomination, but it doesn't just narrows down the field. Same with New Hampshire. You know, so what? So what if these two small states that have a lot of white people? They're not bad for non-white candidates. There haven't been a ton of non-white candidates, and in fact, I remember when Jesse Jackson ran in 1980? He was running for the nomination. He jumped in, and then he jumped in, I think, in 84 also. But Jesse Jackson did well in Iowa. It kept him going. He didn't win Iowa, but he it was enough that he kept going for a while. Or was that 76? I can't remember. I was a little kid. I just remember when he ran. Anyway, let's see. Oh, here we go. The DNC is rigging primaries again by controlling the pollsters. Since Boston Globe and Emerson had Tulsi at 6%, in New Hampshire they have literally stopped polling to keep Tulsi out. It's okay. These are people who are saying that they're oh, what the hell? Oh, I found my first Twitter trend Twitter trend thought is down here. You can't see it right now. Establishment to POC. You are to vote for your color only. Got that? Primary so white. Hang on here. The presidency is a stressful position that ages you. One candidate that is almost 80 had a heart attack. Another one has signs of dementia. And look at Trump. There are some positions that you can be too old for, and it isn't ageism. Oh, and primaries so white. Wait, who's Maniac Man? Hi, by the way. Who is more of a centrist than Harris ever was? Let me figure out who that is. Answer that question real quick if you can. I'll try to pay attention here. I was probably not going to vote for her. I am so disheartened by Kamala dropping out and the resulting primaries so white. I wish the multicultural cast and message of Hamilton was real life. I am listening to this on repeat and crying for us. Oh my God. She's listening to Hamilton over and over so she could feel better about the primaries so white. Jaeger Pony's in here. I know your boy Pat was tweeting about primaries so white earlier, so I think this is already kind of thing. Oh, she's replying to Badger Man. The LA Times. Oh, let me see if this article can come up. I want to see the LA. I know, again, I'm spending a lot of time on Kamala, but only because she is the first top tier candidate to drop out of the race. Kamala Harris should have never run for president, according to the Los Angeles Times. This is an editorial by someone named George Skelton, who's a Capital Journal columnist. California Senator Kamala Harris should have never run for president in the first place. Her ambition far exceeded her ability. She hadn't yet established herself in the U.S. Senate. She hadn't exactly excelled in her previous job as California's Attorney General. There wasn't much of a record worth bragging about on the campaign trail. After being elected to the Senate in a 2016 cakewalk, she should have spent the next 3 years focused exclusively on representing Californians in Congress, helping the state on such vital issues as that's true in a few cases, but not most. They just fade away. And in Harris's case, she rocketed to the top tier of candidates early. Yeah, we talked about that. Then plummeted to the ground, discarded, and her campaign broke. What sort of impression will that leave? We'll find out. She could boost herself with Democrats by helping the party take back the Senate next year, raising money and stumping for candidates. Although she's just proven she can't raise money. If she can't raise money for herself, holy crap. Maniac Man, Tulsi's not centrist though. I'm telling you, she is as far left as Bernie is. She may come off as centrist, but she's not. Now she's sensible. She knows how to talk to people, but policy-wise, she's not a centrist. She's more incremental progressive, but that's not centrist to me. At least that's my opinion. Maybe you can tell me why you think she's more centrist than Harris. Harris is corporate Democrat through and through. Okay, she's as centrist as Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and all the other ones in that tier that aren't progressives. That's what I think. Anyway, let's see. But Harris's lack of money was just a symptom of her failed presidential bid, not the root cause of its demise. Her downward slide in the polls destroyed the confidence of potential campaign contributors in her ability to win, drying up the money flow. But the plunging poll numbers resulted from her inability to connect with voters. And also, you know what? It's funny. She had this weird tell when she was making up stories or making up shit. Whenever she would get a question that was uncomfortable, she'd do that goofy laugh before she answered. She would laugh because she'd laugh because she needed some timing to figure out what she was going to say. And then usually something dumb came out of her mouth. But anyway, and she couldn't connect with the voters because of the core weakness in her candidacy, a lack of cohesive strategy and clear personal convictions. There was no evidence of the political soul needed to guide her toward public policy she felt strongly about. She didn't exactly have a sense of who she was and what she believed and what she wanted to get done, said a disappointed Harris insider who asked for anonymity. And sooner or later, that stuff gets exposed. Right on. Her strategic plan wasn't clear, the insider continued. The campaign was confident she would win the votes of African Americans in South Carolina and from fellow California, which wasn't working out so well, was it? And when that scenario didn't seem to be working out, Harris belatedly began focusing on the first contest in Iowa. The senator was failing there too when she pulled the plug. She was all over the map on healthcare and criminal justice, an insider said of the former San Francisco district attorney. She was a prosecutor. Was she a prosecutor or a public defender? It wouldn't make much of a difference which role she decided, but she started bouncing around to be all things to all people. Voters instinctively understand your heart's not in it. Anyone who watched Harris as Attorney General could have predicted this outcome. She refused to take positions on any state ballot proposition. Her excuse was that the Attorney General writes the official ballot titles and summaries, and she didn't want to appear biased. But that was nonsense. She was trying to avoid making political enemies, especially among law enforcement. Yeah, well, that's, her job. That's okay. Most unacceptable was her refusal to take a stand on two propositions to abolish the death penalty, a cause that she claimed to have long supported. The measures narrowly lost. She also remained neutral on an initiative to expedite the death penalty. It passed, and she didn't take a position on a measure to reduce prison sentences, which passed. Yet Harris leapt into the presidential race, promising to be a fighter for the people. Clearly, that message was gleaned from focus groups. The rhetoric didn't match the record. I've gone back and forth on Harris, initially a skeptic, then impressed, then back to skepticism. Another Harris problem was that was little known outside the political world is that employees reportedly found her difficult to work with. That created a lot of staff unhappiness, and it boiled over in recent weeks, creating an explosive front page story last week in the New York Times because she had some people resign. And in fact, one of them went over to work for Bloomberg. Bloomberg. A top Harris aide who jumped ship to another candidate left a scathing resignation letter that was leaked to the paper. One quote, "This is my third presidential campaign, and I have never seen an organization treat its staff so poorly." Well, other than Amy Klobuchar's staff. Oh, just sipping some tea here. Actually, some coffee. And when your staff is knife fighting in the New York Times and Politico, your campaign is pretty much done, said Gil Duran, a former Harris staffer. This was pretty toxic. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't help if your staff think you suck. Duran, who was also press secretary for former Governor Jerry Brown and U.S. Senator Dianne Feinstein, is now opinion editor for McClatchy newspapers in California. Yeah, that's isn't it funny how these political people always end up in the journalist arena? Just it's funny, especially the Democrat ones. A week before Thanksgiving, he wrote a column urging Harris to drop out. The hard truth: Harris was a weak presidential candidate. Harris was a weak presidential candidate, Duran wrote. Harris excelled in California politics because she's part of a home state Democratic cabal, an insider's machine. But that machine doesn't work outside of California. Governor Gavin Newsom and Harris are tight political siblings, sharing the same campaign consultant, Ace Smith. Now Newsom will miss an opportunity to stump for Harris in Iowa and plant seeds for his own presidential campaign in 4 or 8 years. Yeah, God forbid. Excuse me. As for Harris's candidacy, to paraphrase what Gertrude Stein wrote about the senator's hometown of Oakland, there was no there. So there you go. This is the Los Angeles Times. Now, so clearly she doesn't even have support in California. And it's hilarious because Gavin Newsom, well, just yesterday morning, Gavin Newsom tweeted out, "So looking forward to campaigning with Kamala Harris in Iowa." And literally 2 hours later, this all came to the front. So that's I think that's all I'm going to do on Kamala Harris. But our first top tier candidate drops out. A 007 trailer that's out. Okay, interesting. Good morning to people coming in late. I'll thank you, Wondering Lisa. Good morning. I'm glad you're here again. I'm just say it again. And Check Your Logic, Joys of Sorrow, Renovatio, Mr. Dax. Oh, you were here before, Mr. Dax, weren't you? Or I said hi to you already. But then also, oh, that's everybody. And Sheograth. Oh, hi. How you doing, brother? All right. Moving on. I do, by the way, thank you to Grill and Pirate Pete and Dade Lee Murphy and Tyler F. Dade Lee Murphy. Now, I don't know who Dade Lee Murphy is. Are you in the chat, Dade Lee Murphy? Are you listening today? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for you gave a like to the tweet. Okay, and that's RVA from yesterday. Okay, well, thanks everyone who does share the stream out. That's very, very helpful. By the way, if you are here and you are not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. All you got to do is you can right click. It's under there somewhere. It's down there. Click the subscribe button and make sure you click the bell to make sure you get notifications, because I do stream on the weekend sometimes without notice, and occasionally here and there I'm somewhere on the line. Also, I'm glad that my stream has been nice and smooth today. Those setting fixes obviously worked, didn't they? And then also just a reminder, if you can share and hit the like button, and super chats are available in the Streamlabs link in the description down below. It pops up in the chat every once in a while too. All right, let's move on. It's already 10. Okay, it's already 5 after. Let's go ahead and get into Twitter trends, because there's a couple things on here that you're going to be hearing a lot about over the next few days. And so let's do that. Let me click the right buttons here. Now, the top article that Twitter puts under the Twitter trends, we'll go through that one first, because it's always kind of interesting. And today it is 50 years ago that the U.S. government assassinated activist Fred Hampton. Now that's an interesting one. Hampton, who was the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, was killed at the age of 21 in bed next to his pregnant fiancée as part of a government plot. His legacy will be remembered. So that's in 1969. Let's see. Was it before or after Nixon came into office? But that's interesting. They don't have any further... Oh, I see. This following may contain sensitive material. All right, so let's click continue here. On this day in 1969 on the west side of Chicago at 4:45 a.m. Central Standard Time, the Chicago Police Department, in conjunction with the FBI, assassinated 21-year-old Fred Hampton as he slept. Rest in peace. Now, I probably should read up more on the story because I'm not as familiar with it. They say the Chicago police murdered him. Let's see. Activist and member of the Black Panther Party, Mark Clark, was also assassinated with Fred Hampton during the Chicago police raid. So there's a lot of people tweeting about it. I don't know the story at all, so I guess I probably need to read up on that one before I don't know. Clearly, Twitter is treating it as fact that was an assassination. It very may well be the Chicago machine. And the FBI were, I think J. Edgar Hoover was still part of the FBI then. And they did a lot of shady shit back then. So that's a very interesting thing to be on top of the Twitter trends. Let's get into the trends though. Justin Trudeau is trending number 1 for all you Canadians in my chat. your fearless prime minister is trending number 1. Hello, Richo. Good morning. Or, well, it's really early. No, wait, late at night? I don't know what time it is. It's like 3 a.m. where you are. So you're up late or you're up really early. Justin Trudeau, Donald Trump tweeted about him today because yesterday at the NATO summit, Trudeau and a couple other people were talking behind Trump's back. And so Trump calls Trudeau a two-faced after video of reception remarks. So what happened? Now, here's an interesting thing. So, I'm going to go on a tangent here for a second. So now that Michael Bloomberg is in the race, Bloomberg News, which is his media empire that does Bloomberg, this particular site that I'm at, Bloomberg has decided that they are no longer going to cover the Democratic primaries or Democratic candidates because their owner and, the 11th richest man in America, Michael Bloomberg, is now running for president for the Democratic nomination. So they say they're not going to do any more stories on Democratic candidates. However, they're still going to do stories on Donald Trump. And so now it's Bloomberg's company. I don't know how that's supposed to work. You would think that they would still be covering the primaries, just he wouldn't be able to influence it. I don't know. Anyway, this weird aside. I don't know why I decided to tell you that. All right, Donald Trump called Justin Trudeau two-faced after a hot mic video captured the Canadian Prime Minister joking about the U.S. president's extended remarks to reporters at a NATO summit this week. He's two-faced, Trump told reporters at a meeting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel on Wednesday. I find him to be a very nice guy, but the truth is I called him out on the fact that he's not paying 2%, and I guess he's not happy about it. Now, what that means is that Trump is trying to get the rest of the NATO members to live up to their obligations to their, covering military costs to protect the NATO nations. And that's been one of Trump's big things. And he's, I guess he's been somewhat successful at getting everyone to agree that they're actually going to start paying in because, the United States, we've been the world's police, but can we afford to be the world's police? And at the beginning of his meetings with other leaders, Trump spoke to reporters for more than 2 hours combined on Tuesday before meetings with NATO General Secretary Jens Stoltenberg, Macron, and Trudeau. You just watch the team's jaw drop to the floor. Trudeau added. Trudeau added. And here's that little clip.
Maybe. We'll see how long it takes to play.
This
and we can't skip the ad. Oh my God.
Gets left behind.
And we can skip the ad now. Okay, so really that didn't tell you anything. But, they're here's the thing. Probably one of the reasons Trump ends up taking these impromptu press conferences. Wait, what? Did this freeze? No, we're good. Okay. One of the reasons Trump probably takes these impromptu press conferences is because it seems like the American media likes to shout questions at him because they know he'll stop and take the questions. Now, what's funny, we always, as far as like the last couple of 2 or 3 administrations, you didn't really see presidents do that much. Okay, and so as much, I should say. I mean, obviously they did press conferences, but more on a schedule, more controlled, whereas Trump tends to just stop and talk to them when they start yelling questions. And so that's, and yes, that does make him late sometimes. Now, I don't know, when I saw this yesterday on Twitter, I thought there was a lot more to it than there was. And in fact, the people who tweeted about it, were saying, oh, they're just making fun of Trump and whatnot. But I'm like, whatever. So anyway, in a news conference Wednesday, Trudeau said he was remarking on the length of Trump's news conferences and that his jaw drop comment was referring to Trump's surprise announcement of the site of the next Group of 7 summit, which would be held at Camp David in Maryland. We were all surprised and I think pleased to learn that the next G7 will be at Camp David. I think that was an unscheduled announcement, Trudeau said as he sought to downplay his comments. We will continue to have an excellent relationship. In his Tuesday meeting with Trudeau, Trump questioned the Canadian Prime Minister about how much his country spends on its own defense. Canada does not meet NATO's target for member countries to spend 2% of their gross domestic product on their militaries. Where are you at? What's your number? Trump asked. Trudeau tried to evade answering directly, saying, the number we talk about is a 70% increase over these past years. We are increasing significantly our defense spending from previous governments that cut it. That didn't answer the question, Justin. He didn't ask you how much you're increasing. If you're only at 0.5% and there's a 70% increase, you're still under 1%. Oh, you sly dog. Anyway, but Trump followed up. Okay, where are you now in terms of your number? After some discussion with an aide, Trudeau answered 1.4%. They'll get there. They're getting there, Trump said. Okay, so he didn't even disparage him. He said, well, they're trying. Trump gave him they'll get there. They're getting there. They're increasing it. So anyway, after firing back at Trudeau in the Merkel meeting, Trump later had lunch with countries who are meeting NATO's 2% defense spending target. At that gathering, he said he'll cancel his formal news conference later in the day. As reporters left the room, Trump turned to the table and quipped, that was funny when I said the guy is two-faced. Okay, so anyway, that's why Trudeau is trending. And so now let's see how everyone on Twitter is treating Trudeau trending. Let's click this because our neighbors to the north, we all know Trudeau is two-faced. One is white, and then around Halloween, ... Oh, damn. Oh, you said it too, Mr. Dax. Trudeau is two-faced, white and black. So you're not the... Y'all got minds of steel. That is hilarious. Everyone should look at yesterday's video by America Uncensored. into Michael Bloomberg's ties to China. He is basically a corporate slave of the CCP. He's a puppet. Interesting. And someone said they sent me a video. What did you send me a video of? I think it was Pincalo. Is that what? Oh, the chat disconnected for a minute. Okay, I see what happened. Well, that didn't happen on my end. That's some YouTube fixture shit stuff because my stream is going swimmingly today. Very few problems. Okay, I can't find the video. But anyway, all right. So anyway, Stephen Miller, if we didn't elect Donald Trump to tweet about Justin Trudeau's blackface, then what are we even doing this for? Trudeau should be red-faced for a change. Jim Acosta. Yay! Jim Acosta tweeted about this. Jim Acosta tweeted. Trump caught on Hot Mic talking about Trudeau and his scrapping of a news conference per pool reporter Betsy Klein. Oh, and then you know what they'll say? He didn't do a press conference. He didn't do a press conference. That was funny when I said the guy's two-faced. You know that. Well, at least Acosta just reported, and it didn't sound like he was being editorializing. Did I say that right? Editorializing. Yeah, that's right. That's a word. Did Canadian's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau mock Trump to other world leaders? Well, now ABC News has an explainer on it. Do I want to click this? Do we even? Oh my God! Is ABC News going to run interference for Justin Trudeau? I'm just gonna say that they did, and whatever. Trump calls Trudeau two-faced after a viral clip shows him gossiping about the president with world leaders. Oh, boy. All right, fuck it. Moving on. Number 2, Judiciary Committee's trending because we're about to have some more impeachment hearings tomorrow with the Judiciary Committee. You know, Adam Schiff's little report came out, and it's been all over the news, and I haven't gotten too deep into it. I know there's one part where they had recorded some phone logs, and the journalist John Solomon apparently had some phone calls with Rudy Giuliani and Les Parnas, the dude that got indicted. And I'm just fascinated. I'm completely and utter fascinated. I haven't here. I'm click this because we've been talking a lot about how journalists are being treated and whatnot. And so this journalist, John Solomon, who has opinions that are kind of contrary to most of the journalism field, Adam Schiff somehow got his phone logs and phone logs of several people around it. And I'm trying to think now, did he get a legal subpoena to get those things? How did he get those phone records? And I think I may even have this in my bookmark. Yeah, right here. So I read this thing this morning. This is from Bob Cusack. And it says, The Hill is conducting a meticulous review of opinion columns written by John Solomon on the subject of Ukraine that will be handled by a team of editors and reporters. As a result of the review, and all results of the review will be transparent and public. The Hill's newsroom has a decades-long history of commitment to fair and nonpartisan reporting. Our reporters and editors cover Congress, the White House, and national politics without bias or agenda, and will continue to do so. Now that fascinated me because I'm like, well, what the hell is this about? Because the Hill is conducting a meticulous review of opinion columns written by one of their journalists, John Solomon, of opinion columns. I'm like, well, what the hell is this about? So then I was looking around, I checked with John Solomon, and so here it is right here. Schiff obtained phone records of Nunes, journalists, and others. Now, you know, these people have been talking about how much there's this war on journalism by the president. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Adam Schiff is getting phone records of journalists? Are you kidding me? Between my day job and 3 hours on the radio, I've been mostly out of touch today, but this is by John Hinderrocker at Powerline. But this, from Elizabeth Vaughn at Red State, shocked me. Adam Schiff has crossed the line. He's obtained phone records of Devin Nunes aide, Rudy Giuliani, and John Solomon. The most stunning aspect of the report to me, this is the report that that Adam Schiff has sent to the Judiciary Committee, who's about to have their own impeachment hearings, right? The most stunning aspect of the report to me, anyway, was the inclusion of telephone records of House Intelligence Committee ranking member Devin Nunes, Nunes aide David Harvey, President Trump's personal attorney Rudy Giuliani, and investigative reporter John Solomon. Schiff refused to say how he was able to obtain these records. Now, if he did them without a warrant, which I have to assume that he somehow got some kind of warrant to do this, because what he did would be highly illegal. But let's continue. I don't understand that. Presumably, such records were obtained through legal process as opposed to computer hacking or bribery of telephone company employees. Offhand, however, I don't know what the legal basis would be for obtaining these phone records, and Schiff's refusal to comment does not inspire confidence. I also do not understand how Schiff could have obtained these records legally without the knowledge of the ranking member of his committee, Devin Nunes. John Solomon has been one of the best reporters on the subject at issue here, and spying on his phone records reminds me of when some person or organization intruded into Cheryl Atkinson's home computer at the time when her reporting was inconvenient for the Obama administration. Yeah, and John Solomon's reporting has been inconvenient to the mainstream news narrative. The mainstream media is abuzz with stories about Nunes' communications with Rudy Giuliani during key aspects of his Ukraine pressure campaign. Nunes was in touch with John Solomon around the time he published major articles, and on and on. The telephone records don't include the actual conversations. They identified who was calling whom and how long they spoke. Schiff has crossed the line of decency with this move. Once again, he has abused his power. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton tweeted about that obtaining these records is a remarkable abuse of President Trump's constitutional rights. I would argue that it's an abuse of constitutional rights of all of the above. These are KGB tactics. Well, fair is fair. Republicans should obtain Schiff's phone records and those of so-called whistleblower Eric Ciaramella. Oops, I said it on YouTube. I might get in trouble. And the colleague with whom he had a bro-like relationship, Steve Misko, the one Schiff hired as an aide the day after the whistleblower complaint was submitted. The repellent Adam Schiff has managed to reach a new level of depravity. And he says, I agree with all the above, based on facts as currently known, except that I don't think Schiff's depravity is unprecedented. That's funny. I think we saw previews of that during the Obama administration. Yeah, Schiff's a shitbag. He just is. I'm not even going to mince words on that. So anyway, yeah, Schiff apparently has been spying on people. Apparently, and then let's see. The House impeachment. This is Eric Wemple. Eric Wemple's from the Washington Post. The Washington We Hate Trump Post. House impeachment report says that John Solomon's work for The Hill helped to accelerate the smear campaign against U.S. Ambassador of Ukraine, Yovanovitch. Solomon responds. Here's Solomon's response. Any suggestion I engage in a smear campaign is outrageous and false. I wrote a single column in spring 2019 that touched on Ambassador Yovanovitch and more broadly on the U.S. Embassy in Kyiv and its difficult relationship with Ukrainian prosecutors. That column accurately reported, 1, that in 2018, a GOP House Committee chairman sent an official letter to the State Department recommending Yovanovitch be recalled. I posted a copy of the document, and State confirmed it received the letter. 2, that the U.S. Embassy had funded a civil society group known as the Anti-Corruption Action Center, along with George Soros Foundation and others, and later sent a letter in April 2016 pressing Ukraine prosecutors not to investigate the group. I posted that letter, and George Kent recently testified he signed and sent the letter. 3, that U.S. and Ukraine officials were engaged in dispute over certain prosecutions in Ukraine soil involving anti-corruption activists. Prosecutor General Lutsenko claimed on the record that the ambassador gave him a list of citizens not to prosecute during a 2016 meeting. Sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't on full screen. The State Department claimed that did not happen, calling it a fabrication. Both sides were quoted, including state officials who acknowledged they occasionally applied pressure on Ukrainian prosecutors not to pursue certain cases against Ukraine citizens deemed friendly to the U.S. George Kent recently confirmed several specific instances where such pressure was applied involving probes of people like Shibunin, Shchinik, Leschenko, and NABU. I took extensive time to get state side of the story and present it along with Ukraine's stated concern. That's hardly a smear. It's good journalism. So there you go. That's Solomon's response to that. So anyway, the House, obviously the House Judiciary Committee is going to be in big, bold letters across every major news network over the next few days since those hearings start tomorrow. Apparently they started today. Okay, that started this morning. Okay, why did I think tomorrow? Oh, today is Wednesday. Duh. It's Wednesday, December 4th, 2019. I don't even know what freaking day it is. So that shit's going on right now. If it's so hard to watch. Let's see. And apparently, all right. We'll talk about that later. You'll be hearing about that all day. There'll be videos from every creator on that shit. Number 2 is Nadler, who is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. We'll just skip that. That's actually 2. Judiciary Committee is 3. Noah Feldman is trending 4. Whoever Noah Feldman is, he has something to do with the committee. Let's see. The only thing that Noah Feldman is missing from being what I believe to be a stereotypical Harvard Law School lawyer is a monocle. Oh, yeah, because the Judiciary Committee, it's kind of funny. They're not actually bringing in any witnesses to anything. What they're doing today is they're bringing in their favorite law professors to explain why impeachment is a good idea. And then there's, I think, the Democrats have 3 people they're bringing in, and then the Republicans get 1 because, of course, you would never want this to be even-handed. You want to make sure that one side has the advantage over the other. So that's what's going on then in the Judiciary Committee. Let's see. Trending number 5, impeachment hearings. I'll just skip that. Jonathan Turley, Professor Turley is one of the people testifying. We'll skip that. Doug Collins is one of the people on the committee. He's trending probably because he brought up his dog or something. I don't know. I'm kind of skipping all these. I wanted to get to Princess Anne, though, because Princess Anne is trending. And apparently Princess Anne at some reception was giving Trump the side eye, and Queen Elizabeth was telling her to come receive the president and the first lady, and she just kind of gave her side eye. So here is the Queen, the Queen of England. Here, we'll just show you this in big, old, bold blue. Here's the Queen of England. Look at, here's Princess Anne right here. You see Princess Anne, kind of. She's not kind of off the screen. And here's Queen Elizabeth. And looks like the Queen's giving Princess Anne the side eye for not coming on over. See, look at her looking over there. It's like, get your ass over here. You can't see Princess Anne on my screen. I don't have it full screen enough. But anyway, she's telling, because apparently Princess Anne didn't want to go say hi to President Trump or something. I don't know. But anyway, she's trending because it was something about Trump. Princess Anne, as always, has been an absolute hero to the royal family. She didn't give her kids titles, first to divorce, working around the clock. The videos of her gossiping with world leaders and shrugging like a teenager at the Queen are just like the cherry on top, chef's kiss. Yeah. Because this, when Trudeau was saying whatever he was saying, which I thought it's kind of a nothing burger, but Princess Anne was right there in the mix right there. So that's why Princess Anne is trending, because if you even remotely insult Trump, the lefties will love it. They'll just jump in like it's, the greatest thing ever. All right. Wednesday motivation. We'll do one Wednesday since it is Wednesday. Now that I realize it's Wednesday, here it is. This is a good one. If you can learn from the worst times of your life, you'll be ready to go into the best times of your life. That's great Wednesday motivation. I'm going to leave it at that. We don't need more Wednesday motivation than that. Except for, what the hell is that? All-Star Giving. Is there I never did show you the what was it? The Twitter trend thought, which is say that fast 3 times. There. See, here we go. Twitter trend thought. Nope. My Wednesday every rainy. Okay. I don't know what the pictures are for. I don't get it. But every once in a while, the Twitter trend thoughts will take all the top Twitter trends, put them into one big sentence, and then show some of their booty or booby or whatever. See, here's one. Buenos dias. Good morning. Wednesday motivation. Twitter trend thought. And there's your Twitter trend thought. Okay, I don't really want to see that. Moving on. Fred Hampton. We talked about him. He's trending. That was the Black Panther who they say was assassinated 50 years ago today. That's fine. Professor Pamela S. Carlin, she's testifying in front of the Judiciary Committee. We'll skip that. Wednesday vibes we'll skip just because it's a Wednesday thing. Gerhardt. Who is Gerhardt? Let's see. Laura Ingram. Let's see. Oh, the only measured. Oh, I see. Professor Michael Gerhardt. He's also trending. So you'll get to know all those names. We're going to skip them, though. No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. The new Majesty's Secret Service movie, in which James Bond will appear, but I believe this is with the new 007, and here's the official trailer. I don't know that I'm going to show this. Daniel Craig makes an appearance as James Bond in this one again, though. And I'm not going to watch it. Let's see. Die and Let Kill, Die. Oh, this is okay. JTOLL makes up new movie titles for James Bond movies. Here they are: Die and Let Kill, The Killed Die First, Kill Another Death, License to Die, For Your Dies Only, The Die Who Killed Me, So Much with the Killing and the Dying. Okay, so that's the trailer to the new James Bond movie. And the new 007 is now a black woman, and James Bond is retired, but he comes back to save the day. But you know what? Actually, I don't mind, because here's what they didn't do. Because usually when they blackface former characters, they try to take the character and put them into a new face. But rather than do that, in this movie, James Bond is retired. And so they reassign the number 007 to a new agent who happens to be a black woman, but she's a new character. I have no problem with them coming up with a new character for black people rather than repurposing an old character in blackface. It was what I call it, blackface, the blackfacing of former characters. So anyway, that's my thought. So James Bond is trending. Great. Good for James Bond. No Time to Die. It is National Cookie Day, people. National freaking Cookie Day. Are you just fired up? Come on, man. Let me see if they got some good pictures of cookies. Well, here it is. Good news for a change. December 4th is Cookie Day. I might have to just... my daughter's coming over today. We've been decorating our house for Christmas, and we have this little tradition, me and my daughter, is we have this little Christmas village that we set up over there on the bookcases. And so my daughter's coming overnight. We're going to eat some pizza. We're going to set up the bookcases with the little Christmas village, right? And then also, my son is coming by tonight. So my wife's like, okay, well, why don't we make it a Christmas decorating theme? Now, we've done most of our Christmas decorating in the house already. Why am I doing this without me on the screen? We'll get... Here. My wife and I said, well, since my son's coming over because he's picking up some of the last of his stuff, why don't we also put the ornaments on the Christmas tree? Because we have everything up, but no ornaments on the tree, except the angel's up there. When did she put the angel up there? Our Christmas tree's right over there. And so my daughter's coming over. We're going to eat pizza, set up the Christmas village. My son's coming over. He can eat pizza with us. We'll put decoration on the Christmas tree. It'll be a nice family gathering in our empty nest home. Just having both of our children come over, and we're just so happy. But I thought also it's National Cookie Day. Maybe we should bake some cookies too. What do you think? Bake some cookies for National Cookie Days. There's Happy Cookie Day, and then we got Cookie Monster here. Okay, he's happy for National Cookie Day. And then what is this? Merriam-Webster, the English cookie comes from the Dutch koekje, diminutive of cook, which means cake. Okay, thank you for the etymology of cookie, Merriam-Webster. James Bond, I don't know why. What? Skipping James Bond. It's National Cookie Day, damn it. Getting my exercise done early because I heard it's National Cookie Day. Oh, a treadmill for a cat. That's kind of cool. That is really... I've never even seen one of those. All right, that's kind of fly. Okay, Beetlejuice on Broadway says, "This is it, the day we've been waiting for. Happy National Cookie Day from the best Girl Scouts in the Netherworld." What? She don't look like she from the Netherworld. She just looked like a normal, whatever, Girl Scout with the boxes of Thin Mints there. I was expecting to see some really cool cookies on here. Get off my screen, damn it, you K-pop thing person. There's some cookie dough, whatever, and okay, it's National Cookie Day. All right, enough of that. Moving on, the last two trending on Twitter today is Wheeler is one. Zach Wheeler, I don't know who Zach Wheeler is. Breaking Phillies intern fired after giving assignment to put Zach Wheeler's picture on Citizen Bank Park Jumbotron to lure the free agent to Philadelphia. That's actually kind of funny. They fired the intern for that, though? Wait, after giving assignment. Well, wait, it was given an assignment. Going to talk to myself into Zach Wheeler staying healthy and reaching his potential, but I'm prepared for 26 starts, 2 IL stunts, and a 4.0 ERA. Okay. I see. Free agent Zach Wheeler has eliminated the Rangers from his consideration. Okay, because he's from the Mets. Okay, all right, whatever. That's baseball. And finally, finishing out the Twitter trends on my list is Eli Manning. What happened to Eli Manning? Eli Manning's parting gift to the Giants might be losing out, getting Schumer fired, getting Gettleman fired, and securing first overall. King shit. What? Daniel Jones in a boot has a moderate high ankle sprain per Pat Shermer. He couldn't play if Giants had a game today. Shermer compared it to what Saquon Barkley had, slightly less severe. Barkley missed 3 games, so get ready for the return of Eli Manning on Monday for the Eagles. Oh, so Eli Manning might play for the Eagles. Start for the Eagles on Monday. He hasn't started for a while. It's funny, there's a Peyton Manning commercial showing on the Eli Manning hashtag. Okay, Eli Manning at his locker Monday night, getting ready to put on the bat costume. Oh, yeah, he's back, baby. He's Saquon. What did I say? Okay, Saquon. All right, so Eli Manning gets one last chance to shine. American football is gay. Come on, Richo. Oh, come on. I don't think you realize. Now, I've played rugby and I've played football, and they're just different. Okay, you would be amazed at how hard people hit each other when they're wearing all that padding. Sometimes it just doesn't matter that you're wearing the padding, and rugby I'm not Australian football, although they're similar, they're not the same. But that's you just when you're not wearing the padding, you do just kind of. You take care of yourself in a certain way. It's more like grappling, but American football is just flat out missile speed hits on people, and it hurts, even though there's padding. But there's a lot of rest in between plays, so I get what you're saying there. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Morning Night Live today. I've rambled on. If you want to support the channel, the Streamlabs link is in the chat right now as we speak, and also. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT for my friend Richo, who was up very early in the morning, wherever it is he lives. And if you like what we do, and now that I got you thinking about it, hit that like button, okay? Except for Duck Dog, who hits the dislike. I get it. That's cool. Oh, now this says I'm not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Did you experience any bad streaming today? I thought I had that fixed, but it didn't show up on my Streamlabs part. Anyway, what else do I got to say? You know what? Also, on your way out, maybe you want to share the video. Maybe you want to subscribe if you're haven't already done that. Maybe you just want to ring the bell if you haven't already clicked the bell under the subscribe button. And maybe you want to throw a couple bucks in the tip jar and into my super chat jar on the Streamlabs link down below. If you do it off hours, I'll read your chat the next day, or you can just wait till tomorrow, because we're here Monday through Friday, and tomorrow's Thursday, which is Monday through Friday. Tomorrow, programming note, is FTG Thursday, as you know. So if you have people that we need to give a good old FTG to, please feel free to send them to me on Twitter, through my DMs, or you can just tag me on Twitter, or you can send it to me on Gab and Minds, and hopefully I'll figure that out. I really don't get messages there. Or you can even email them to me. Take that put it on the other side, and put gmail.com behind it, and I'll get that too. So I am so glad that we've had this time together, but it is time for me to get the hell out of Dodge. So thank you for being here, everybody. My name is P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.